Hey there. This is going to be a two-part stream. This is stream number 247, part 1. So I have to break today's work up into 2 segments because I got a meeting in about 2 hours. I'll probably have to leave in an hour and a half. And after the meeting, I'll come back and pick up where I left off. So I'm starting like 2 hours before my normal time. So probably no one's watching right now, which is fine. But I'm still recording and gonna export the VOD to YouTube so people watch it there. And so, hello YouTube people. And I just realized that the front window's open and it's going to be really noisy, so I might have to get up and shut that window. So let's see what we can do without having to do that though. So yesterday I was working on the fixing the chatbot integration. In fact, I had only gotten the chance to do this first bullet, so sort of whimsically we had done that. That's the big chunk of work I did yesterday. So I had broken a lot of the integration between my game and Twitch. Fixed it yesterday, and then after the stream, I had a chance to work on this set of features so that if we log in to the game with Twitch, we want to give the client the ability to not need to have a password set, so you can drop your account password if the account's linked to Twitch, and not in order to prevent people from losing access to their account accidentally, we would not allow them to unlink from Twitch if the account has no password set, and you can set a password if you don't have one. So that I got all working in the test environment, and so it's left with these last things which I'm pulling over to today. So when a new player logs in with Twitch, right now it just says you have no account here. So it would be nice if instead it said, "Oh, hello, new player. Please pick a player name," and then you would be in. And from the GM point of view, I kind of want to be able to see which player accounts are actually linked to Twitch and to what accounts. And then some other loose ends are to use a number used once or nonce with the JSON web tokens, JavaScript object notation web tokens, that are used in the authentication process with Twitch. So it's highly recommended that you use a nonce value or number used once, so that once you use a token, you can't use it a second time. So if someone intercepts the token while you're using it, they can't go and log in as you by using the token a second time. So that's going to involve having the client come up with a nonce and having the server keep a list of nonces that have been used already, and not allow it to be used, not allow them to be used a second time. And I was a little unsure about how to do that, because like, do we hold on to the nonces forever? And then I realized that these JWTs only last about 10-15 minutes. And if they're expired, it doesn't matter what the nonce is, it still doesn't work. So we only really have to hold on to nonce values during the window of time in which the JWTs are actually still valid. And I might as well just keep that all in memory. I don't need to have it in the server state at all, I think. Yeah, because each server can hold on to the list. Yeah, so we can do it that way. And yeah, so I think I know how to do that. And then cleaning up the login dialog. So the login dialog needs a little bit of work. It's a little cluttered. So right now, this is the old stuff where you have the player name, password, and remember me, and this is the new stuff. And I also threw in this one. I'm not really happy about how I did that. What I kind of like to do is make it very obvious that there are 2 ways to log in. This remember me applies to both, so maybe move that around outside. So maybe highlight or organize this differently so that it's clear that it's either these 2 fields or you hit that button. We got a bit. Hello, Wild Genie. And hello, Multiple Pixels. Thank you for the bit, Wild Genie. Yeah, so this login with Twitch button sort of is independent of player name and password. And this remember me applies to both password and login with Twitch. And then this backup login code is only for password login, so it's all cluttered and needs to be reorganized. So, yeah, I'm gonna fix that. All right. Let me demonstrate this one. I think I might. Yeah, I have to enter. Let me take that off screen, so I can enter my password. And actually, I guess I don't really have to take it off screen. I could just hide the. I could hide the screen. There we go. We're in secrets mode now. I just need to get my password manager out. You guys use password managers, right? If not, you should. Don't you go using the same password for every site. Okay, it's sending me a token. So let me get that typed in. All right, and then I don't need to hide this anymore. Display. So this is what you get after you log in while you're authenticating with Twitch. It says, my game wants to access your account to get your OpenID claims. Basically, just so that you can prove who you are, prove you are who you say you are. Authorize, and it takes you back to the game, and then you're in. No password required. Use passwords.txt. That's okay as long as don't let anyone get to that passwords.txt, right? How are you doing, Pyro? And new Coder 101. All right, so that's how the login with Twitch works. So in fact, if I log out now and log in again with Twitch, it kind of remembers who I was, the Twitch does, and so I just need to authorize again, and it brings me back, and we're in. I'm okay, Pyro. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? I'm going to be splitting the stream up into 2 segments today, and I've started like almost 2 hours early because I got a meeting right in the middle of my stream time. So streaming now for another hour or so, and then coming back like after an hour of meetings. So, and I'm gonna have to close the window because they're starting to do some loud work outside. Okay, let me demonstrate this problem. When a new player logs into Twitch, right now we wanted to request a player name to establish a new player. I'll show you what it does now. So if I unlink my account from Twitch and then log out, so the game doesn't know about my Twitch account anymore. So log in with Twitch, authorize. It'll say, well, I don't know who you are. You do not have any game account linked to your Twitch account, right? So we don't want to show this. What I'd rather show is a dialogue saying, welcome, thank you for visiting. Would you like to play? If so, enter a player name. And then it would be just like this new account thing where you enter a player name, but you don't have to enter this other stuff. I guess, yeah, I don't even think we're going to ask for email address. We're just going to ask for a player name. I don't need any of the other stuff. We know you're not a robot because, why? Because you would, well, I guess you could be a robot, but you would have had to have given your robot access to your Twitch credentials. So I don't think I need to worry about spammers because they would already have to be dealing with Twitch anyway, right? I don't know. Probably don't need to do this. Just ask for player name, say something like welcome. I should probably say welcome to the game in this new account thing anyway, right? Welcome, thanks for trying out the game. So we want to show that, and then sign up would work the same way. And I think what we'll do is we will keep the connection to the game open. And so cancel and that dialog would disconnect, and sign up would just transmit the new player name. And we would have to deal with, like, if you pick a name that's already in use, right? Something like that. It would do this. That player name was already taken, please choose another, and then just let you try again. So this means I need to have a state of the connection where you're not controlling a character yet. The player account is not set up yet, and yet your account is connected and authenticated through Twitch. That's the tough part. I need to think about how I'm going to do that. Maybe since this requires a little bit more thought, I will do that in a bit and move on to this one. This is the good thing about having a plan with multiple tests. You get kind of stuck or you're not sure what to do on one, just move on to the next and come back to the previous one. So yeah, the second task, show the Twitch name in the player's console. So that would be this console over here. Examples. So right now I'm showing the username in game, but not showing, like if you're linked to Twitch, it doesn't show that, and it doesn't show your account name. One slight problem with adding another column here is it's already pretty wide, and so I might want to compress this a bit. Perhaps shorten the columns for the creation and last login. Maybe just show the date. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe use a smaller font or less spacing between these rows. I could shorten some of these. This could just be PTS or PT, right? Just to crunch those column sizes down. Yeah. This feature isn't very critical though. I'm kind of tempted to move on to number 3 first, which is to add a number used once in Twitch JWT requests. So for that, let me look back at my notes for the login with Twitch stuff. Did I put under notes more crypto stuff? I did. I wonder if I should turn off this light that I have over here because it's just making my face all shiny. Because it's so hot here. I'm burning up and it's only like 8 in the morning. All right. I want to look at getting tokens OIDC implicit code flow. That's what we're using, right? So they talk about optional parameters that they strongly recommend that we use, either a state or a nonce. So both of them are pretty much the same, right? Both of them are echoed back in the response. So what's the difference between them? I suppose this one is a stronger claim, saying it will only use it once. Okay. So the first task, I guess, would be to come up with the client-side code to generate the nonce. They don't even use it in this example, do they? I don't even see it in there. All right, let's... Oh, that's interesting. The test I was running earlier crashed. Huh. The test runner failed. I won't worry about that right now. Client-side code here. Source. Player, wait, views. We would need this on the login, right? So it would be a dialog. Login dialog. And there's a login with Twitch. Which is going to end up going here. Okay, here's where we could come up with it. Yeah, so question is, did I write code already that comes up with a random number in JavaScript? Or will I have to look this up? I think I'm going to have to look it up anyway, because I don't remember. So JavaScript crypto random number. You don't want any random number. You want something that's cryptographically strong. Generate random number cryptographically secure numbers. Here we go. Window crypto get random values. Let's see if I ever use that. Nope. All right. So it sounds easy enough. Look this up in dev docs. Get random values. What does it return? Oh, it's just stored in there. Okay, and then that, yeah. So you can use it like a UN8 array or something. How many values? Does it really matter? I could just pick a single UN32 or something and just base64 encode it or something. All right. Or not even do that, just print it in decimal. Yeah. New uint32 array 1, right? This is my cheat sheet. Hey Toulouse, how are you doing? I got a trigger happy canine behind me who's barking at every movement outside. So if you hear a bark, then that's what it is. Well, Genie has linked their account successfully. I'll give you a point for that. And hold on a second. I'm just trying not to show the people who are I mean the production environment on stream. I just want to unmask you so that you are now visible. Yeah, I need to get better at that so I can do that faster. Welcome to the game. All right. Where's my other screen? Here it is. Window crypto. Get random values, right? Array. And I can just address it and print it. So let's see if this works. So I would do it this way, right? Nots equals array 0. Thought unmasking was going to happen when linked. Yeah, so while Genie linked their character. Oh, but you mean automatically? I chose not to do it automatically, but still have some kind of manual control over that because I'm paranoid. What I was thinking is if I just let it completely automated and wasn't watching it, you know, spammers still create one-off Twitch accounts, so someone could just create a new Twitch account, link it to the game, and then we're back to square one with the problem of spammers, right? So, you know, at least if I do it manually, I can look and see, yeah, this isn't a spammer. This is someone who's got like 200 something followers. They're probably fine. Yeah, we don't want dummy Twitch accounts to like be used to gain trust in the game, right? So, and that goes back to the whole subject of like how do we establish karma or trust in Twitch accounts? And it's a discussion that's going on now in multiple science and tech streams, right? Because we have problems with one-off accounts being created to spam and bot and stuff like that. So one of my mods is running a bot that will auto time out new accounts until they're like a certain number of days old. And there's followers only 2 days mode, for example, that sometimes we have to use. So we could do something like that where maybe you would be auto unmasked if you link a Twitch account which is not new, which, you know, it's been established for a while, has a certain number of followers or views, or, you know, some kind of criteria that we can trust. But until then, you know, let's keep it manual. If I do that, I could at least see the nonce in the URL, right? So I could do that. I could try this out now. Log in and then log on Twitch, and I should be able to see it up here. I don't see it. I must have screwed it up. Did I not save? I did hit save. That's weird. Refresh, maybe? Oh, there's the nonce. Right up there. Cool. So I should have gotten the nonce. And would I don't think I'm printing it out though. Yeah, we were just printing out the Twitch user ID. Okay. We have a canine alert again. She's in the backyard now, barking at someone. All right. So the nonce is created and included in the JWT. So in the server side, we just need to make sure a replay attack won't work. So let me find the test where we work with JWTs. And we'll make a test where we do 2 back-to-back logins with the same token, and the second one should fail, right? That's what we want. Auth player, right? Let me look for the JWT. So here we go. So this is what happens when you log in with Twitch. You'll first get a token from Twitch. When it comes back to the game, it logs in with the token, and also, where does that come from exactly? Was that just extra stuff I threw in there? Just to test? It might be. Let me look at the front end side of that. If I just search for that string, I'd find it. That's the back end still again. How come I'm not seeing? Oh, it would be like JWT colon, or just JWT. Ha. Yeah, why am I in this test? Why am I including this stuff? I think this is just an adversarial test because internally this stuff gets pulled out from the JWT, and this is an incorrect number, right? Because down here we make sure that it's the correct number. Right, this number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Bilbo instead of Cthulhu. 2. Okay, so yeah, this is so normally you'd only send these first 2 things saying, I want to log in, here's my token. And then the server will look up the OpenID configuration from Twitch in order to figure out the URL for the public keys. And then it'll fetch those public keys and then verify the claims, and then knowing the Twitch ID, it finds out the login and display name by using the Helix API of Twitch. So we simulate all of that in the test environment. That we simulate the server side of that. We expect to see that these requests are given, right? And then we simulate the responses so that we don't have to actually talk to Twitch to run this unit test. And then we see that that the game will append a login command saying login as this Twitch user, login and name, and then the executor takes it from there, right? So I think in addition to these, we want to include the nonce now and let the executor hold the nonce values. That's probably the best idea. So we need to put a nonce into this JWT, don't we? Which is a problem because that means I have to regenerate the signature, and I don't remember how to do that. Okay. Good thing I'm doing this now and not like a month from now, where I completely forget how I was doing this in the first place. There was where is it? One of these helpful tools. Here it is, jwt.io that we can use. I want to get this link and then put it over here, I guess. Sure, incognito window. And then I want to see if I can recreate this signature. Here is the thing that we're signing, right? Without the quotes at the end. Okay, there it is. And then I'm going to put it in here. And then the trick is to put in a private key, public key pair. So yeah, here it's Alex authorizing with Bob using the Twitch OpenID. Are those access tokens? That is an access token, and here are the claims. It's just some test claims that look like they're going to authenticate with Twitch, but it's completely fake. Subscriber number, fake authorization party, authorized party, audience, all that. All of it's fake. It's just for testing. And the trick is that I need to use the correct signing key that it will verify correctly in here. I need to remember where the keys are. Like, did I use this key or did I use the signing key? I forget. I forget which signing key I used. I guess I could try the test signing key. It's got to match the public. Okay, let's look back at the test. It's got to match the public key that I put in here. Where would that be? Where is it? Test. Here it is. Oh, ugly. How did I get that originally? I forget how I made that. Yeah, you can authenticate with your Twitch account. You want me to show you? It's not in the production environment yet, but this will be in there soon. You do log in with Twitch. Twitch will say, "Are you sure you want to let this dude know who you are?" And you say, "Sure." And then it gives you a JWT that you passed into the game, and the game then checks the signature with Twitch's public key, and it says, "Signature matches, claims look good," and then we don't need to have a username or password in my game. You do need to have a player name, though. Pretty dope, that's right. So, yeah, I got that working, and then the second step to make it better is what I'm doing right now, which is to add a number used once in the request so that we can avoid replay attacks. Like this talks about, we strongly recommend you do this, either a nonce or a state. And I think to Twitch, they're really the same kind of thing. It's just a value that's echoed back in the response, and you're supposed to make sure that, yeah, it's the correct one. And I'm using a nonce because nonce implies that you can only use it once, so that if someone copied your token and they tried to use it, it wouldn't work because it's used only once. It's not about money. No, this is about authentication. This is about proving that you are who you say you are. The problem with these public keys is they are basically unfolded into the modulus and public exponent, and I forget how to do that. I think I used OpenSSL to get the modulus out, and then I ran it through the base. There's a base 32 encoder. I think it was. I just don't remember which key I used. Should I just guess that I used the test signing keys? But what's the public key for that? I don't remember. Oh, no, I do remember. I remember where I did this. I did it in the crypto signing. Crypto signing. I had a special JWT test in here. Right. There's the modulus. There's the public exponent. There's the private key. And there's the valid signature for this test data. Right. So here's the key. Let's take the key out. And we'll just do this trick where I delete, 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 delete. And there's our key. Pop the key in here. There's our signature. I just need to make sure, does that match what I already had before? If not, then I'll be sad. Let's see. MPP. Actually, might match. How would I know for sure? I'm thinking it does match. If it didn't match one of the first characters, it would not be the same, right? And I've looked at the first 6 or 7 or 8 now. Okay, cool. I'm going to say it matches. So then if I want to insert a nonce in this test, I would take these original claims, right, and then modify them. So those are the claims. And there's a tool that we use. Where is it? To base 64 encode them. I think it's this one I was using. Encode. Make sure that that matches. No, it doesn't. I think it's because we're supposed to take all the spaces out first. Hey there, Sultan. How are you doing? EA is going to sell a Twitch login loot box. It's a private key. It's only known by me and you. It's a private key for from the perspective of if it was in the real system, but this is just a test environment, so we don't mind sharing the public keys or private keys, right? It's possible I deleted a column too many. It's possible. I think what's more likely is that it's signed without all these spaces in it. So I could do this, delete, backspace, and then take all the spaces out as well, right? And then this is the raw string. Let's see if that encodes correctly. That looks more like it. EYJHD, yeah. So to be sure, we're supposed to take this and then take the equals off, right? Yeah, okay, so if that is the original claim, and I'm going to add a nonce to it now, right? I think it's NONCE, but I'm not sure. How would I tell? I could look at the one I'm getting and see what how Twitch encodes it, right? Where was that window? Right here? I'd have to look at... No, I don't want to show the token on stream. It would look like me. Nonce. Number used once. It is? If it was in... Oh yeah, there we go. Additional claims, there we go. So, what nonce should we use? How about 1, 1? It's a string, right? 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. All right, and then if that is our original claim, remove the spaces. There's the thing to encode. Encode. There's our new encoded. Pardon me while it takes me a few moments to get this right. Okay, so there's the nonce in there. The signature won't match anymore. And that's why. Oh, because the key was wrong. Make sure I use the same. It didn't change the key on me, did it? Yeah, it's just the public key doesn't match. That's fine. Here's the new token. So grab this entire thing and then put it in the test framework again. Paste. We can You can eyeball it to make sure that it is, I didn't screw it up. That should be the same as this other one, and it is. And then the second part has the new claim in it, the number used once, right? So it's going to be a little bit longer. Oh, it ended right there. So that matches a little ways and then stops matching, right? It matches up to that, and then this is the new part that has the number used once. And there's the new signature. Okay, so I don't need to change any of the keys because that signature is made from the same private key. And I'm only going to use this token, right? So let me see where I use that token, because I might have in some of these tests checked the claims. Illuminati revealed, yeah. Hey there, Nui. Sorry for starting early, but I have to go to a meeting in like an hour, so I'm sort of wanting to stream about the same amount of time, but I had to split it up. So I'm streaming a little bit now, and I'll be streaming after my meeting. So I'll be taking like an hour or so break to go to a meeting. About an hour from now. Okay, am I verifying any claims here? No, not this one. Let's just try it. This should not fail any of these tests. They should still pass because the signature should match, right? Actually, it doesn't matter here, does it? Oh, no, it does matter. We check the signature in the coordinator, I believe. Yeah, okay. So just running all these tests would be a good check. If they break, then I did something wrong constructing that test token. All pass, great. So I can take the which one of these? Start login. What's the finish login do? I think that's like simulating that it logged in correctly. We don't want that. We want that. Let me think about this. We want to see that the nonce value comes out. That's what I want. It needs to be given to the. It needs to be put into the command. Right. So I need to add it to login command. What would be the best thing to search for? Twitch name? Login. Yeah, so let's add it here. We could take any string, right? It's just a string has to come back out the other side. So if the command specifies a Twitch ID, this is the nonce. Number used once. How do I say this exactly? That was contained in the JWT used. Oh, JWT used to log in. There we go. Nuts. So we need to include it here. And here. Commands test needs to expect it. Not equals PogChamp. Doesn't matter what it is, it just has to be something. It doesn't even have to be a number. It's some kind of thing, right? I'm not sitting correctly. Bad posture. Okay, where's the encode? Here it is. Ah, got a mosquito bite on this on my side, and it's like bothering me. Damn mosquito. Which one's this? That's for password. Okay, this is the one that I want to modify, right? Query Twitch information on login if account linked and information is missing. Actually, I don't care about that one. Start logging with Twitch JWT. This is what I want. So expect equal. Now, what my Illuminati friends, do you guys remember what the knots was? 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5. Log in command knots. All right. So this will fail because the coordinator doesn't extract that from the claims. Test-driven development. We're changing the test first to cover the new feature or feature change, and then we're making the test pass by updating the code to make the test making the test pass by updating the code. And why does this not want me to? Why does this not want to build? I don't know. CMake task is already running? No, it's not. It's doing a full rebuild because it couldn't incrementally build. There we go. And then it lost its memory of this test in Test Explorer, so I had to refresh it there. Fails because the number used once is not in there. All right, so now we're going to go to the code that matches that test, which is source coordinator auth, and find. Actually, here it is, because I happened to be looking at it before. We get the claims out. Okay. I think we just want to pass it through, right? So where do we finally do the login? Here, is it here? I think this is it. It says complete. What does that complete do? Oh, it's passing information that we're going to give to the next function. Man, this is a long function. I have to still split that up to make it easier to read. Right, so we're gonna put it in here. So I need to put it in here, don't I? Actually, now that I think of it, I technically don't need to do that, because if it's null and gets interpreted as a string, it'll be empty string. As an int, it'll be 0, so I really don't even need to do that. Anyway, where was it? Here, right? Knots. And where are we gonna get it from? Well, let's just say nonce. We have to capture that. Oh, thank you for that follow. We need to capture that here. And so all these captures it has to be added to. And then we have to generate it somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. Did I put it in the right place? I put it in the wrong place. It's totally wrong place. This is login with password. That's the wrong place. This is login with JWT. Where is the continue for this? Here it is. Okay. So let's put it here. Okay, and then we can get it from the claims here, right? Where exactly? I guess I can just do it here. Knots equals standard string, claims, knots. Done. Didn't work. Okay, let's debug. See why. Debug. What's in the claims? Let's see if we can look at that. There is a nonce. What is the nonce? Yeah, it's the correct string. Is it not getting down to there? It is getting there. Oh, but I forgot to actually use it. I do this all the time. This is like one of the reasons I have tests, and why I debug is that I end up making lots of mistakes. So it's right here. Log in nonce is interpret as a string message nonce. Ah. Got stuffy ears today. Run the tests, pass. Or as they like to say in Adam's channel, Adam pass. So that's the first part, getting the nonce into the command to log in. And the second, where the command is actually executed, is where we want to make sure that the nonce can only be used once. So there's the executor, and it has its own tests, and we're going to look for where I do this, what would it be? Login with Twitch would be, would just be login. And, how would we require a nonce? Let me look at the executor source code. On login, right? Oh, right. It's a authentication method called Twitch. So here we would require it. Okay, so let me look for that. Twitch. There it is. Oh, this is in the coordinator bar. Sorry. I need to go to the executor tests. Look for Twitch. There's one. Log in with Twitch success. Okay, cool. And then there's log in with Twitch. No ID set yet. No account. And this is not Twitch. I think I just had those 3 tests, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's start with this one. And we'll say, a couple things. Let's have a nonce required. So hold on. Let me take the fail case, like one of these. This is a fail case, right? No. It would be this one. Something that has an error, an execution error. And let me compare what other errors can we get. Like if the claims are bad, what does it do? What's JWT failure do? It just does bad JWT. So I guess that's what the code we would expect here too. Did I already make a copy? No. Copy, paste. Login with Twitch failure, no. Nonce missing. So we just leave the nonce out, right? This one should have the nonce in it. 1, 2. No, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. 5. And this one we should have the account set up. So is that what I did here? This is all excess, isn't it? Why did I even do it that way? Yeah, why did I do it that way? Didn't I? Isn't it easier just to set Twitch ID? And set Twitch info? Hold on, let me go back and... Yeah, this is like simulating and creating a character. This is unnecessary. Where did I did this an easier way somewhere. This way. This is better. Okay. Success, no ID set, no account, nonce missing, so this is where I would put it, I think, right here. Create a character and create a character named Alex. Actually, it needs to match Alice. And Twitch ID needs to match test multipass. Cool multipass. Hey there, meme clear bombs. It's more like multi cases, multi conditions. Where was it here? Oh, it doesn't matter what I put here, does it? It just needs to match. Those need to match. Can I just not repeat that and put that there? That's probably better. I'm trying to remember, but I should just look at the code. What's required? Right, we need to be able to get them by ID, and that's about it, right? Oh, also it's going to end up adding a bunch of extra stuff if we don't have it, so... Oh, no, it's not. It's just going to succeed, and then... It's actually... Okay, it is going to add a bunch of stuff, so I should probably just... add it so that we don't get confused. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. Don't you love these debates? Raimu debating with himself in his own mind and you only hear half of the argument? I don't need a test link. I don't know why this... Oh, that's from a different test. So it's Alice, has this Twitch ID. I don't even think I need that. Let's just get rid of that. It's unnecessary. Don't need any of that. We just need a player with some name and some ID added to the game, and then we forget to put the nonce in here. I don't need a login token. Don't need any of that. We just need this. Make sure that they're connected, like that they look like they're connected, and then that's the matching ID so we can find it. Right, so this should be bad JWT. And then we'll do the same arrange and login, but with the nonce in there, and it should not. Well, we'll do it with two nonces, or two logins, right? So, failure nonce used. So we do two logins. So the first one in the arrange. I can just do auto. Can reuse it, right? Method Twitch. So then now we put in the nonce. 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5. Publish it, and then that should succeed. Should I just do an assert here that it succeeded? Assert not equal to 0. There. What? Assert true, execution error empty. Assert equal to this player's ID. This. And index that. Make sure it is what we think it is. And then what we do is we log them back out again. So players log out player ID. And then we try to do it again with the same nonce. And we should get an error saying, did you say bad JWT? Not tell them why. Not let the attacker know why. And then I don't need to redefine this because we already have it. Correct. First to require the nonce. This will fail because it's not required. So let's require it. So that's over here. Method Twitch. Should we do it even before we look them up? Probably. If command nonce is empty, then yeah, return an error bad JWT. I can probably put this all in one line, right? Bad JWT. So that should make this test pass. So I got like another half an hour before I got to take a break, and then after the break, the break will be about an hour and a half or so, and then I should be coming back. So that test passed, and then this one will fail because it is allowing it in. So to not allow it in, here's the tricky part. We need to take this number used once and then cache it for as long as the token lasts. So, oh shoot. The executor doesn't know how long the token's going to last for, does it? Need to pass that in too. I forgot that. We need to get the expires at out of the token. Put it in here, I guess. What? I guess we'll use a double, because that's the type I use for all times, right? So, nonce expiry. This is the time according to the server's timekeeper. Actually, does the executor have a timekeeper? It does. That's good. And I'm using it for time tracking. That's fine. I'm only going to use it here for cache purpose, right? Let me think about this, because the executor also is in charge of replaying logs if the server starts up. So it might replay an old login. What would be the result of that? That it might allow a login when it shouldn't have? So maybe the executor is the wrong place to do this. Maybe it's the coordinator that should be doing it. Actually, that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. So instead of modifying that, actually then we wouldn't need it here, would we? Let me think about this. So if instead of doing it in the executor, we did it here, where we get the nonce out, we could fail if the declaim just doesn't have a nonce at all, and then we could just check to see if the nonce was used. Yeah, that would be simpler, wouldn't it? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Makes sense too, because that's where I'm also checking the issued at and expired times. All right. So I gotta undo a bunch of work. Don't you love it? Gotta undo the work I just did. All right, I don't need it in the login command anymore. So undo. Undo that. Oops. Hit the wrong control key. I'll keep that for now. Undo that. Wow, it's almost like I didn't do any work at all today. Yeah, it won't be in there either. We need that though. That work, it didn't go to waste. This one don't need, right? Yeah. Need that. So we're back to front end comes up with a nonce and the test has a nonce in it. And this one, I want that. Don't need any of that though. Okay. And we should be updating the unit tests here. Okay. So really, yeah, I need a couple tests here, right? In fact, yeah. Let's do the one where the nonce is not included yet. Yeah. So I'm going to take this test here and duplicate it and make the time correct. The time is 12,000, so that's within the issue to expire time. And I just need another one here, like test user Twitch JWT no without nonce. Login with Twitch JWT nonce missing. This should be bad. So I just need to make that, and I can make that from the old one we used to have before today. That was not in this file though. That was in common.hpp. There we go. So yeah, this old token, let me just take this old token. This is the one without a nonce in it. And then close. Then up here, and I can then paste it right here. And call it test user Twitch JBWT nonce missing. Perfect. So everything will validate, but it won't not have a nonce in it. This will try to use it. Actually, I like this name better, without nonce. And there we go. So that's one test. And the other test would be that it has a nonce and we try to use it twice. So copy all this stuff, paste it. Oh no, I don't want the finish one, sorry. I want the start one. Start login, there we go. Login with Twitch JWT, nonce already used. Already used. Make a connection, do all this stuff, and then do it again with another connection, I guess. It's gonna look really ugly. So all of that, and then let's get rid of the things we don't need here. I don't need... Actually, it's just these expects become asserts. And then when we're done, it's gonna put a command in the queue, but then we can just disconnect right away. So just make a new connection. Just needed that one line, right? So just make a second connection that tries to log in with the same token. And actually, can I clear that out? No, it shouldn't even validate it, right? Let's just see that the nonces are used already. So that should be that it stays 3 like it was up here. And that's all I need to do, right? Actually, do I even need to check that? I do. And then I just have this. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I do all this. We cut it at 3 and expect a failure. There we go. Cool. Perfect. I think there was an error. I think I saw an error there. Yeah, there was an error. Is that because this was already used? Yeah, it was deleted? What? Oh, okay, well, let's just call it player 2. It's saying I can't reuse that variable. That's fine. What now? I can't use const. Okay, fine. Whatever. I just wanted to build. Just let me build. Compiler, build. Okay, that's because the test explorer was looking at it, so now it's got to refresh it. Okay. All right, back to this. Let's do the one that's easier first. Nonce missing, right? So that's going to fail because it allows it. So the fix is to go into auth and require a nonce. So I guess we would just say that if it doesn't have a nonce, not claims has nonce. Perfect. So the harder one is to cache that it's been used. See if this is failing the correct way. Yeah, so it did another request. So this would be that we need to hold on to that nonce until the expiration time. So I think I just need to have a map from nonce to expiration time, and then we would process it here. So we're getting the nonce out. Am I going to renumber my steps? If that's step 2, then everything else bumps by 1. Oh crap. All my step numbers are wrong now. I know I'm gonna screw this up now. 5, 5, 6. This is don't do this at home, kids. Don't mess with step numbers. I'm just doing this because I'm somewhat obsessive compulsive, I guess. I want space for my step 2. I just added 1 to all those steps, right? Okay, cool. So we're all good. Step 2 is verify nonce hasn't been used before. And we don't need to check expired nonces. So, for any JWTs that are still valid. We don't need to care if it's reused for a JWT that is where it was used before, but the JWT is invalid, because we know Twitch must have verified it again. So even though it's reused technically, it's okay because it has to be a different JWT, because the expired time is done. So we would first, I guess, drop any that have expired. So we're going to end up looping through some kind of collection, right? So auto nonces entry equals nonces begin, and then while nonces entry is not equal to nonces end, if I need to get the issued at, I mean the expired time. Or no, I guess I could just say if now. If now is greater than or equal to nonces entry second, then nonces entry equals nonces erase nonce's entry. That's how you remove something from a collection you're iterating, right? Else plus plus nonce's entry. So that removes any expired nonces. So then we say nonce's entry is nonce's find nonce. If nonce's entry is equal to nonce's end, then we're just going to store the nonce. So nonce's nonce equals now. I need the issue dat actually, or the expire. This one, the expiration time. Otherwise, it's an error. So we can return right away. Where's the failure thing? Where is it? Here it is. JWT failure. Return. So now all is left is to make the damn thing. Where to put it? I guess we're putting it in the header file for this module. Put it up here somewhere. Here we go. Map from string to double nonces. This holds on to nonces, numbers used once, that have been used in Twitch JWTs used for logging into the game. The keys are the nonces, and the values are the expiration times of the corresponding JWTs. There we go. So if I did that right, then it should work now, right? Nothing ever works the first time, though. This is why we have tests, though. So, run. Yay, it worked. The first time. I'm always suspicious of that. Let's run all the tests in authplayer. That test passing means that the replay attack won't work, because that's exactly what we did. We used this test user JWT, and then we tried to use it again, and it failed with the bad JWT. Oh, I broke a test though. The bad signature one fails. Oh, because it's missing a nonce. I need to redo that one, don't I? And the caching, what's this one? The caching isn't working? What is this one? Hold on. What was this one? Is this something that I added? I started adding and I didn't finish? No, it's an existing one. What is this? What was this test doing? Bad signature. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Here it is. No, that's the correct one. What's this caching? What does this mean? This is obviously a bad test name because it doesn't tell me what we're testing. Oh, it's caching the keys. It's what it's doing. And why did it fail? Because it's missing the nonce is why. Yeah. Okay, so let me fix the name. Twitch. Let's say cache Twitch OIDC public keys. Public keys. There we go. It's that it asks for the public keys the first time, and then the second time it doesn't need to. Where's the second time? This one. The second login, it goes immediately to looking up that and not the signature. And this is using the valid one. So I just need to fix this signature one. This one has to have the oh, wait a minute. I know how to do it. I can just update the claim and just leave the signature invalid because it just needs to be an invalid signature. Just the claim has to include a nonce though. It's failing because the token doesn't have a nonce, and then it's failing earlier than it should. All right, so run it again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop streaming to go to my meeting very soon. So once this passes, I'll probably check it in and go raid someone, and then I'll come back in like an hour or two. Cache. Okay, this is still broken. It only made 2 requests. It got to 63. It got it down to here. Wait a minute, why? Oh, because the nonce is the same. It has to be a different nonce. Okay, well, I can just take the one we had been building and just change the nonce, right? We'll just add one. There, and then here's the new claims. There's the old one. Yeah, an hour and 16 minutes, but I'm gonna have to split my stream in half, roughly. Okay, so that's with the nonce incremented. There we go. Hey there, Rally Monkey. Yeah, I'm up early because I have to go to a meeting at 10, so I got up early to start the stream, to get some work out of the way, and then I gotta take a break to go to this meeting, and then I'll come back for stream part 2 in about 2 hours from now, hopefully. How are you doing today, Rally Monkey? Yeah, it's a split stream today. Yay! And thank you for that follow, by the way. Appreciate it. So yeah, today it's loose ends. So right now I just finished doing this, adding the number used once so that you can't do a replay attack with the login with Twitch. I think all the tests are passing. In fact, I'm going to run everything, and then when I come back for stream part 2, it's these remaining 3 tasks. So we'll move that up here and say that this is part 1 is this, part 2 is all this stuff. I'm going to do it in a certain order too. Let's start with an easier one first. Maybe cleaning up the login dialog first when I come back. This one is optional. I don't need that today. I can do that whenever. So easy one followed by hard one, and then an optional one if I have time. That sounds good to me. And we're still waiting for all the tests to run. Actually, while it's doing that, let me do the commit. Okay. So this is how we generate the nonce in the client. We use crypto, get a random 32-bit value, and include it in the OIDC implicit flow, which is that we go to Twitch and we ask for a token, and when we say, hey Twitch, when you make that token, put this nonce in there, would you? Okay, thanks. So that goes in, and then here we updated the token we're testing with to include a nonce, and then we included one without the nonce, and then the bad signature one has to have yet a different nonce so that we don't trigger the nonce check in some of the other tests. So this is a test for that the nonce is already used, and there's one for the nonce is missing, and then I fixed the name of this test that checks to make sure we cache the public keys so we don't keep asking Twitch for them. Here's where we cache the nonces that we used, and we only need to hold on to them until the corresponding tokens expire. And here's the check. We don't have a nonce, it fails. Get the nonce, and there's this extra step here where we verify the nonce hasn't been used before. We first drop any that have expired, and then we look to see if the one in the token is in the cache, then it fails. If it is not in the cache, we put it in the cache for next time. Hey there, Clayman. Welcome. Unfortunately, I gotta go to a meeting though, but I will be back in like an hour and a half. Let me finish this check-in though. and explain what I'll be doing when I come back. So let's see. This is basically require JWT Twitch login JWT to include a nonce. So have front end generate and include nonce in Twitch request. In Twitch OIDC implicit flow request, and then have backend require nonce in JWTs, cache the ones used in tokens that have not yet expired, and fail the login if nonce is not present or has already been used. There we go. Just let me go. No meetings, please. This one's not a technical meeting. It's a family meeting, so it's different. I promise I'll be back though. Don't have anything else until this afternoon, so I got time. Just this meeting is in the way. It's all. And if I passed all my tests, I'm good. This one is gonna fail though. I don't mind. This is work that I haven't yet finished with the tile illumination system, which I suppose I could show you guys if you haven't seen it before. So we'll log into the game. And if you haven't seen this before, it's kind of cool. This is what I'm working on that hasn't gone into production yet, where in a dark area of the game, you would normally only see a few tiles away. But if there's a light source in the distance, it would illuminate the world around it. So also, if there's barriers in the way, you would not see things behind them. So the barriers cast shadows like that, and light sources let you see further than you normally would. If you go to the game right now, we don't have any of that. So even in the so-called dark sewers, there is no obstruction of light by walls, and there's no darkness. Thank you for that follow. So you can actually play the game now. It's a little bit behind the production version of the game, but you can log in there now. I don't have to log in with Twitch yet. And I don't have the darkness and light sources yet, but you can check it out. There's some test areas you can attack these slimes. You can venture into these deeper caverns and get annihilated by these difficult foes. And we'll be soon adding in the darkness and light systems and the login with Twitch. But only when it's ready. Oh no, I'm being raided. Primogen, thank you for the raid, but unfortunately I'm about to leave for about an hour and a half. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. How was your stream, Primogen? Yeah, I know. I should probably put that in my overlay. Leaving soon. Do not raid. Tell you what, who would you like me to raid, Primogen? Who is your alternate streamer that you would raid if I was signing off? We'll go raid them. I need to go to a meeting that's in about, it's going to be like another hour and a half. So yeah, I'm sorry that I have to end that now that you just raided, but I'll be back in like an hour and a half. Who would you like me to raid instead, Primogen? If you're still there. If not, I don't know. Primogen's viewers, who would you like me to raid? While we're waiting, I'll just chit-chat a little bit more to let you know what this is that I'm doing. I'm working on this multiplayer RPG. It looks like this. This is the production environment where there's some little test areas you can run around in. And in the test environment, what I was working on, I haven't finished this feature yet, though. It's having barriers to block visibility and having light sources, and you can have dark areas of the game. That's not done yet, and the other thing I was working on is finishing up this login with Twitch feature, where instead of having to know your password, you just say, I want to log in with Twitch, and it merrily logs you in using JWTs. But only if your account is linked. So I would do that with this. I'd have to log in normally, and then go to here, get a code, copy that, and paste it into chat. And oh, that didn't work because the production environment bot is active and not the test one. But you get the idea. If once you link your account to Twitch, then you could log in with Twitch. Raid soding? Okay, that sounds excellent to me. The 24/7 cannabis growing stream, you can always go watch that one, but I don't really like to raid that one because it's not game dev. Okay, I will be back in like an hour and a half. I'm gonna go raid Soding. He's an awesome guy. I've raided him before. So I'll leave you in good hands. Here is his link. I'm gonna go hit the button right now, and I will be back in about an hour and a half to do more of the work on logging in. I'm gonna clean up my Twitch login dialog. I'm going to if you log in and you don't have an account yet, it would let you establish a new player, and then if I have time, clean up the player panel that I have. So here we go. I'm hitting the button. All right. I will be back in an hour and a half. Enjoy Soding. Take care, everybody. Bye.